What is swing path and how does it affect your golf shots? Today we're meeting up with PGA Professional Jack Backhouse to find out. So what exactly is swing path, and if someone was practicing, how could they identify what their swing path was?
So the swing path is the direction the club is moving relative to the target at impact. How you identify your swing path is how the ball's flying. So if your ball starts left and then curves to the right, then you've got a swing path that is too much across the ball from out to in. And then if your ball starts out to the right and then curves to the left, then that means your path is from the inside, from in to out, and you'll hit a draw.
So on this target line, if we're looking down the shot there, can you just put some sticks down and show me what that would look like?
Yeah, so if you were looking to hit a draw, or you're a draw player, the stick would sort of point out to the right of the target, and that would suggest that the club's coming from the inside. You strike the ball, then moves to out.
So someone who probably shallows more and then
shallows it, yeah.
Shallow, right.
It's like a hook player, someone who draws it, hooks it, hits pushes, is going to hit it from that angle, where someone who's a slicer or a fader, or someone who pulls it, the club is going to be moving from the outside of the target line into the ball, then across it. Is going to give you that slice, pull or fade shot.
So most golfers struggle with a slice, right? So their path is that way.
Yep.
Do you think that's a predominantly kind of path problem, or is it related to the club face and what that's doing?
So I think that generally your swing path is a reaction to a club face problem. So generally what will happen is someone will start swinging down, the club face will be wide open, and subconsciously they're trying to stop the ball going straight right, so then they'll swing across the ball from out to in and then slice it. I think the first step for me, if someone's slicing the ball, is squaring up the face, get the face shut, because then what will happen is if you do the same swing path, you're then going to hit it way left, and then your swing path might then start to adjust for that.
So how might someone identify if they've got too open club face then? Do you think that comes down to how they're gripping it or what they're doing in the takeaway?
I think grip's definitely a part of it, because that's how you're holding the club. I think changing the club face in the takeaway can help, but it isn't the be all and end all. You know, there's loads of players who take it way inside and open and still draw the ball. There's people who take it back and shut and then still slice the ball. What you've got to think about is where does the ball start and how is the ball curving? So if the ball is curving right, the face is too open. So you've got to shut the face somehow and get that ball either going straight or curving to the left. And then you might adjust your path and your aim to get the ball curving to target. Now changing the club face in the takeaway might help that, but actually what I would prefer someone to do is try and get the face more closed from the top down, closer to impact, because as I say, if you could roll the face wide open here, but it might be shut by the time you get to the top. So actually there's no point shutting it in the takeaway.
Yeah, so as long as people are getting it kind of shut from in this bit,
exactly,
then they're going to be good to go.
Exactly. So the most important part of the swing is, that last 2 or 3 feet into the ball. So if there's anywhere where you're going to get the face shut to stop your slice, it's got to be in that zone, not anything up here.
So we've sorted out the club face. What would some drills be that we could now work for on swing path?
Yeah, so the really easy ones would be using sticks, getting some sticks on the ground and sort of creating a channel to give you like a bit of a visual and a physical sort of barrier and cue to swing down. Something that we do quite a lot, and you might have seen on the driving range, is getting a head cover or a bag or something and just putting that behind the ball. Again,
yeah, so you've got to swing and kind of avoid that
so,
on the way
yeah,
down.
Absolutely. So
rather than...
Yeah, exactly. Physical barriers are like the best way to change swings, because you would try not to damage our clubs, and it's really easy just to react to something being in the way. So a head cover or a bag just outside
and
the
also
ball.
It's good feedback, because if you're practicing on your own, you don't necessarily have a coach to tell you if you've done it right or not. You know if you've kind of hit that object. I've swung it wrong there.
Definitely. I do this all the time in lessons, and people generally, I put the head cover down, they make one swing, they send the head cover 20 yards down the driving range. People get pretty sick of having to walk out, pick up the head cover, put it back, knock it back again. So you adapt really quickly to that, and you can do it by yourself, so that's great as well.
Also, I think it's just good for awareness, because sometimes people wouldn't even necessarily know they need to be swinging it in that direction, and just having like a good visual is going to help them do it more than anything. A lot of the time it's more about having that knowledge and knowing what you're meant to be doing, rather than trying to avoid something that you're already doing.
Awareness is huge part of this. So something that I get sort of good players to do just when they're struggling with the flight is I put a barrier down, but I'll move it. So avoid it when it's there and avoid it when it's here. And what that does is it gets them controlling the club a bit, you know, just gives them a better idea of where is the club coming into impact, and it gives them a better idea of how to shape the ball different ways.
I guess it also shows you like, what can I do? So then when I go on the golf course, I know, okay, this is in my limits. I can do this shape, I can do that. Outside of that, I need to just not try.
Absolutely. Hey, look, if you're on the range and you're smashing the head cover all the time and you're trying to stop a slice, the last thing you should be doing when you're out on the course is going, I'll try it now, because if you can't do it on the range, you can't do it on the course. And I definitely think if you're out there playing a social game, put the head cover down. You know, there's no reason why your pals or your playing partners wouldn't be all right with that. But because if you could do it out on the course, you know, learn it on the driving range, take it on the course, and then take it to sort of competitions. So once you've mastered it on the range, avoiding barriers, go do it on the course and see if you can do it out there, because it's always way different when there's trees and bunkers and hazards and stuff.